Okay, so welcome back to my brand new podcast, Be Your Own Life Coach podcast. I am Deanne Day, and I am a professional certified life coach. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about something that I like to call the game changer. And so I call this the game changer because I feel like it has made me feel more empowered to take control of my life, to create more of the results that I want in my life. And I'm able to do more of the things that I love. I do things that I thought that I couldn't do. I've seen how it's impacted other people's lives. I've seen how it's impacted my clients' lives. And so I think it's a game changer because it's basically helped me and other people that I've watched create a life that they absolutely love and a life that seemed like it was initially unreachable. And now they are reaching those goals. And so I'm going to teach it to you. So, the game changer. So, what I'm calling the game changer is actually created by Brooke Castillo in her book Self Coaching 101. She wrote a whole book about it, and it's something that she calls the self coaching model. And the model is what you were seeing here on the screen. And so basically, what it is, what you were seeing here is a model that is suggesting that we all have circumstances that happen in our life. And when a circumstance happens to us, the circumstance is neutral. So all circumstances are neutral until we have a thought about it. And then, depending on how we are thinking about that specific circumstance, that is going to impact the way that we feel. And then the way that we're feeling is going to have an impact on the actions that we take. And if we continue to take those actions over and over again, we are going to create a specific result in our life, whether it's something that is a good result that we want, that we've been praying for and hoping for, or if it's just a result that sucks and that we don't want and we wish would have never happened. But either way, this is showing us that the results that we get in our life is evidence of how we have been thinking. So the way that we think creates the results that we get. And so I'm going to take you guys through a little activity that I want y'all to do with me. So I want you to take a moment, clear your mind for a second, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. And I just want you to notice how you're thinking when I ask you these questions, how you're feeling, and what, like, basically what thoughts are rolling through your head. So, for this first question I'm going to ask you, I want you to take a moment to think about what thoughts would you have? Like, what are some of the thoughts that would flow through your mind if you found out that you won $10 million? Like, maybe you just played the lottery and yo, they called your number or you did a scratch off or however it happened, but you just won $10 million. What are some of the thoughts that you think would flow through your mind? Like, for me, I know my thoughts is like, my first thought is like, I don't have to work anymore. Like, I love coaching and I would still do coaching. I want to be a coach. Like, I love that. But I also have my day job. So my thought would be like, I don't have to work no more. I can travel the world finally. I can pay off everything, just pay everything off. I won't have no debt. And basically, I'm just going to be free. Like, I'm free at last. That's what I'll be thinking. Those are the different thoughts that would go through my mind. So, what are some of the thoughts that you think would go through your mind? And what's one of the, like, what's the one that would stand out to you the most? Like, for me, I think um maybe I'm free to do what I want might be the one that would stand out to me out of all of them because I know I would have a ton of thoughts, but I'm free to do what I want will probably stand out to me. Okay. So my next question is, so we running with that one thought, the one that stands out. So my thought is I'm free to do whatever I want, is what I'm thinking, because I just won this $10 million. So the next thing I want to know from you is what emotion, how would you feel from winning this $10 million? Like what emotions do you think will be running through your body? And specifically, I want you to think of an emotion that you will be feeling because of the one thought that stands out. So my one thought is like, I'm free to do whatever I want. I'm free to do whatever I want. And so if I'm thinking that I am free to do whatever I want, then I will probably be feeling unstoppable because I could just do what I want. So I would feel unstoppable. So how would you feel? How would the thought that you're having be making you, like, what emotion would that be causing you to feel because you just won $10 million? Okay. So you got that feeling. So the next thing I want to ask you is what is something that you think that you might do because you're feeling this way, because you just won this $10 million? So for me, I think like some of the actions that I would take because I just won this $10 million, the first thing I probably do is quit my job and buy some plane tickets because I love to travel. I want to travel the world. So I'll quit my job. I'll probably buy some plane tickets, pay off my debts, retire my mom. And if she would let that happen, because she loves to work, but I would try my hardest to retire my mom and maybe I would probably just get to a beach as soon as possible because I love the ocean. I love the beach. And just figure out, like, make a plan for what I would do because I wouldn't want to just be making random decisions about how I'm going to spend this money. But I know the first couple things I'm going to do is quit my job, get to a beach, retire my mom, pay my debt, and then just figure out, like, come up with a plan on how I want to use the rest of this money. So those are the things that I would do. So what are some things that you would do? I would love to hear them in the comments. That would be awesome. Like, what are some things that you would do if you won this money? Okay, 10 million. All right. So we about to move on. Okay. So you got what you would do. You know how you feel. You know the main thing you thinking. So my next question for you is what if, what thoughts would be running through your head if you found out, nope, just kidding, you didn't win. It was a joke. And you found this out like on Friday, you found out you won the 10 million, and on Monday, it's like it was a joke. You didn't really win, just kidding. What thoughts would you be having? How would you feel about that? Well, no, don't tell me how you would feel yet. We're gonna get to that. But what thoughts would you be having because it was like a prank and you didn't really win? So I think I'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I quit my job. That would have been the first thing. I don't care if it was a Friday or not. I'd have been out of there and they'd have known about it. So I'll be like, I can't believe I quit my job. I'll be thinking, oh my God, I can't believe this. I feel trapped now because I thought I was free as a bird, got to do whatever I want, feeling unstoppable. Now it's like I'm trapped. I can't, and I'll be thinking like, man, that was a really cruel joke, you know, like it seemed official. They called you, they let you know this, they won this, you won this 10 million, and then they was like, nah, you didn't win. So what thoughts would you be having if you found out a few days later that this was not, this ain't, it didn't happen. It wasn't real. And then come up with like a real thought that would stand out to you, like one of the main thoughts, because you would have a lot of them. Because we do have 65,000 thoughts per day. So obviously, if you win 10 million, you're gonna have like a gang of thoughts about this situation. So what is the main thought that sticks out to you? I think for me, the main one would be is like, I can't believe I quit my job because I would have definitely quit. And I can't believe they would play this kind of joke, like playing with my life like that. I can't believe they play with my life like that, maybe would be the thought. And then, so how would you feel? So now I'm sitting here thinking, I can't believe that I quit my job, and I might feel maybe ashamed because I quit. Like I just ashamed that I believed it and that I just quit like that, you know? So how would you feel based off of whatever thought you're having? Like what emotion would that thought be causing you to feel? So I can't believe I quit my job. I'll probably feel ashamed, maybe embarrassed or worried. I'll probably feel a lot of different emotions. And so then what would you do because of how you're feeling? So you found out a couple days later, after you didn't took some of those actions, that this wasn't real, it was a joke, you didn't win nothing, you still right where you are when you started. And then you had thoughts about that. So one of my thoughts is, I can't believe I quit my job. I can't believe they play with my life like that. And so now I'm feeling ashamed because I can't believe I quit my job. Now I don't have no income. So what are some things that I might do? I might, since I'm feeling ashamed, I might want to like hide. Like, shame kind of makes you feel small or makes you kind of want to hide and not be around people. So I might like stay in the bed. I might want to cry, think of everything that I lost, like beat myself up for making this decision. Um, Imagine myself trying to crawl back to my employer and see if I could get my job back. Like, those are some of the things. And I didn't say I would go back. I said, imagine myself crawling back because that's what it feels like. I'm like feeling this shame. Like, I gotta crawl back and beg for my job. Like, embarrassed and ashamed that I quit in the first place. So, what are some things that you would do based off of how you're feeling because of the thoughts you're having about what you did when you found out like it wasn't really real? Okay. So that's what I want to know. And so the reason what we just did is we went through the model, right? A circumstance happened to us. The circumstance was, well, we had two circumstances. One was someone told us we won the lottery. And the thought I had was, I'm free to do what I want. That's the thought that I had. So what thought did you have? You had your thought. My feeling was I felt unstoppable because I was thinking that I'm free to do what I want. So I felt unstoppable. And then some of the actions that I took was I quit my job, I bought some plane tickets, I paid some debt, like took care of my mom. Like those are the actions that I took because of the way I was feeling, because of how I was thinking about the circumstance, which is the 10 million. Okay. Then we found out that we did not win the lottery. So that's another circumstance. So the circumstance is the first one was someone told us we won. The second one was someone told us we didn't win. It was a joke. And then so because of the thoughts that we had, oh my God, I can't believe I quit my job. Then I start feeling ashamed. And then the actions I took was stayed in bed, hide, like thinking of everything I lost. Like those are actions that I took, right? And I just want to show you how the power of thinking. Because I know as we went through this activity, some of you probably felt excited. Like you could probably see it in me when I was thinking, and I even knew what I was about to do, but I was thinking about all the things that I would do, and I was excited, and I was describing like I'm gonna quit my job, I'm gonna go to the beach, I'm gonna decide, I'm gonna retire my mom. And I was just like feeling good and excited and like free because of the thoughts that were running through my mind. But then you also saw like how I kind of changed, and you probably felt a change in you because of how I was thinking when I found out it was a joke. I can't believe I quit my job. And you were thinking things that probably impacted the way you felt. Even though this is just an activity, this is to show you that the way we think, regardless of if it's real or not, right? Regardless of if it's fact or not, regardless, the way that we think impacts the way that we feel, which impacts what we choose to do, the actions we choose to take, and the results we get in our life. So this understanding this is very important, and it's very empowering, because it shows us like we can't always change our circumstances, but we can always change how we choose to think about them. And the way you think directly impacts the results you get in your life. Regardless of what the circumstance is, the way you think is going to impact the results that you get. And we always get to choose how we think. We might not always feel like we can choose, but we can always choose how we think. And that's going to help us get better results. All right, so I do want to take a little time to explain a little bit about the difference between circumstances and thoughts, because people can get those confused. And it's very, very important that they're not get confused, because remember, a circumstance can't be changed, but a thought can always be changed. And then the thought impacts the feeling, and then the action and the results you get. So if you're thinking that your thought is actually your circumstance, then it kind of stalls you, and it doesn't allow you to make a shift or to make a change that can get you a better result. So for circumstances, I want you to think all circumstances are neutral, regardless of what they are. The circumstance is neutral until you have a thought about it. Your thought is what makes it feel a certain kind of way, but the circumstance itself is neutral, okay? It's fact. Everyone can agree on it. Everyone can agree on a circumstance. So everyone can agree that this is 2024. If you're listening to this podcast in 2024, we all can agree it's 2024. If someone said something and then you quoted them, everyone could probably agree to that, because it's a quote. It's the exact words that they said. If it's raining outside, we could all agree that it's raining outside. If there's an accident, we can all agree that there's an accident. If you work at a certain company, we can all agree that you work at that company, right? A person can be in your circumstance line too. So like you can put husband or mom or brother, right? We can all agree. People who know you and your situation can all agree that you have a mom or a brother or a husband or a circumstance, or like that would be your circumstance. So a thought, the difference with a thought is more of an opinion, right? A thought has descriptive words, they're describing. Sometimes thoughts will be more judgment in the thoughts. Everyone doesn't always agree on a thought. And a thought can also change in the moment, where a circumstance can't necessarily change in the moment, but a thought can change in the moment. So for example, the first circumstance I said is this is 2024. A thought about it is 2024 will be the best year ever, or 2024 is going to suck. Or like everybody's not going to agree on either of those statements. People have their own opinion about what 24 will or won't be. If someone said something and you repeated what they said word for word, that is considered a circumstance. But then if you said, I can't believe she said that, that was horrible. What she said was so mean, or what she said was so sweet, or what she said was so kind, or what she said was rude. Like everyone's not going to agree on that. People have different opinions. And that's a part of being human. We get to have different opinions. We get to think differently, right? So, and then like the other circumstance example I gave is like mom. Like if you have a mom or a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or grandma or a boss, right? So your boss will be the circumstance. But if you say my boss is the worst, everyone doesn't necessarily agree that your boss is the worst. Maybe there's someone else that loves the way your boss does things, agree, like their personalities match and it just works out and they agree and they love it. So just because you think your boss is the worst doesn't mean everybody's going to think your boss is the worst, right? So it's important to know the difference between a circumstance and a thought. And sometimes people mix up that they put the thought in the circumstance line. So you would say like, "Oh, my boss is the worst. My boss is horrible." And you think that's a circumstance, but really that is the thought that you have about this about your boss. So it's in the thought line. Okay? All right. And so feelings basically like I said is kind of feeling is a one word emotion. Let me go back. I want before we move on, I want to kind of well, no, I'll just go. So feeling is a one word emotion. Okay? And and the reason I'm saying that is because sometimes we'll be like, well, how did that make you feel? Or how did you feel when he said that? And sometimes people will be like, well, I feel like he was rude and I feel like he was wrong and he shouldn't have never said that. No, 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 no. How did you feel? What emotion? Tell me one word that describes how you felt. And you could say disrespected, hurt, afraid, excited, right? Just one word, not all the things and not what he should have did and all that. One word that describes the emotion that we felt. So for instance, we'll do like a run through, like, let's just say a circumstance is that you got laid off, right? We got laid off. And a thought that you could be having about that is, dang, now I can't provide for my family. I can't provide. And so a feeling that you might be having because you're thinking, I cannot provide for my family, you could feel shame because you were the breadwinner, now you can't provide, or you contributed and now you can't contribute anything. So you're feeling shame because you're focused on the thought, I can't provide. Okay, same situation, you're laid off. And instead of thinking I can't provide, you be like, I can find another job. I'll find another job. I can do it. And so you might feel an emotion that you might feel in that situation is determined. Like you're determined to find another job because you got laid off. See how the different thoughts create different feelings? And then, so I talked about actions. The way you're feeling has an impact on the actions that you choose to take. So, actions are things that you either choose to do or things that you decide not to do. So, actions include inaction as well. So, things you do or either don't do. Okay. So, situation, you got laid off. Your thought is you can't provide. So, you're feeling shame around this because you can't provide. So some actions you might take is you might want to like hide or stay in the bed or just avoid interacting with people. Sometimes you might want to do things to make you forget that you're feeling this shame or to escape the feeling of shame. So then you might like watch TV or watch a movie or get on social media because sometimes doing those things helps you forget. Like when you're doing that, you're not thinking about your life and the things that you're going through. Excuse me, I had a sneeze. And so you might sleep because you're feeling shame. Things you're not doing, you're probably not because you're so busy sleeping and watching TV and hiding. You're not trying to get the word out that you're looking for a job, telling friends and family to keep their eyes open for you. You might not be applying, you might not be looking, you might not be doing any like updating of your resume and planning like your how to find a job because you're so settled in your shame and hiding and trying to escape the feeling of shame that though you're not taking any of the actions that can help lead to a job. So let's just say same circumstance, you're laid off and your thought that you're focusing on is I can find another job. And then the feeling that thought is making you feel determined. So because you're feeling determined, you are doing job searches, you're telling people you know, like that you're looking for work, the type of work that you're looking for, telling them to keep their eyes open. You're getting that resume updated, brushing up on your interviewing skills, applying for jobs, right? So those are different actions that you're taking, and it's all based off of how you're feeling. And then the results are what you create in your life because of the actions you choose to take or choose not to take. So, with the situation of being laid off and your focus being that you can't provide, and so you're feeling that shame, and since you're hiding and being avoiding and staying in bed and watching TV and not applying to nothing and not telling nobody what you're looking for so that they can help you look too, you are basically keeping yourself from being able to provide. You're keeping yourself from finding other employment so that you can provide. So because of the actions that you're choosing to take. And so with the intentional, like if you're thinking more intentionally, or if you are thinking, I can find other employment, like I can find another job, and you're feeling determined and you're doing the job searches, applying, telling people, getting your resume updated, interviewing, applying for jobs, the result that you're creating is you are allowing yourself to find another job so that you can provide. You've allowed yourself to do what it takes to find a way to provide, right? You created that result because of the actions you took. Just like you created the result that you still can't provide, right? So if you can see the results that you get with the first one is like, I can't provide, and that's all you're focused on, right? And then the result you get is you keep yourself from being able to provide. You keep yourself from finding other employment. And that is the result you're getting because of the actions you're choosing to take based off of the way you're feeling, because of how you're choosing to think. In the other case, it's the same thing. You've allowed yourself to find employment. You took the actions it took to get employment based off of the fact that you were feeling determined because you were thinking that I can find another job. And it's showing you that your results have a direct relation to how you were thinking. Okay. So I think that the results that you get, like I said, they're proof of how you're thinking. So think of any result that you have in your life, whether it's one that you like or one that you don't like. And you can always trace it back to how you were thinking. It always starts with a thought, and then you felt a certain way, and then you acted on it, and then you got a result. So I encourage you to take a moment and just notice that. Maybe do one of each, one that a good result that you got and one with the result that you wish you didn't have. So it works both ways. It's not all just negative. It works both ways. But that's why it's important that we learn how to think intentionally so that we can create more of the results that we want. And so there are some things that you can do. The first step is just increasing your awareness. Because if you don't know how you're thinking, then you can't change it or keep it. Like you don't know how it's impacting you. So I want to encourage you to increase your awareness. Pay more attention to what you were thinking. What are you thinking? So maybe you're having a bad day or you notice that you're feeling angry. What thoughts are you having that's causing you to feel angry? Or maybe you're excited. What thoughts are you having that's causing you to feel excited? Maybe you feel hurt. What thoughts are causing you to feel hurt? Pay attention to what you're thinking so that you can be more aware of how certain thoughts impact the way you feel. And then notice, okay, I'm feeling this, I'm thinking this thoughts and this is how it's making me feel. Like, notice how those thoughts make you feel. How is this emotion that you're feeling impacting the way you're choosing to behave, impacting the things you're choosing to do? So that you can see, like, the more you become aware of how this stuff really impacts you, then the more you feel more determined to grab a hold and be more intentional and maybe make some changes so you can get more of those results that you want. So those are the things I encourage you to do. I also encourage you to stay connected with me, okay? Stay connected with me, especially if you are interested in creating some positive change in your life. especially if you're considering working with a life coach. You can find me on Facebook. My page is Deanne Life Coach Day on Facebook. If you have questions, you can email me. My podcast is currently on YouTube under my YouTube channel called Coaching Daydream, so you can find it there. You can visit my website. And I'm also currently accepting one-on-one clients. So I do one-on-one coaching. I have a program called Mindset Makeover. And the Mindset Makeover is a 15-week program where I'm doing one-on-one coaching with my clients, and it's all virtual. So it'll be like through a Zoom meeting. And so I typically I help my clients break the cycle of setting goals that never get accomplished, right? You set a goal and then you never get accomplished. Every year you're setting this goal, or there's something you really want to do, but for some reason you just can't get to it. And typically, what I'm helping people do is overcome the self-sabotage. Maybe they need assistance with like managing their emotions, or they procrastinate or disorganize, or just letting fear hold them back from what it is that they want to accomplish. And so I help my clients develop the mindset that they need so that they can get the results that they actually want. And so through this 15-week program, I mean, you'll start to see results way before the 15 weeks. So, I mean, if you want to dive in, if you're ready to dive in and get some one-on-one coaching, I encourage you to contact me. You can scan this QR code and schedule a discovery call. And basically, the discovery call will be like you allowing me and deeply thinking through what your life goals are. I'll take you through an activity. It helps you to identify your goals, and it helps me to understand what you want and how you're thinking about what you want. And then you'll get like a sample of me actually coaching you so you can see what it would be like, see what it will feel like. And then if you have questions about joining Mindset Makeover, then you can ask me that. And that's absolutely free. So if you want to try to see what it'd be like to get coached by me, then set up a discovery call. And then you can use that to also ask about the Mindset Makeover program. So yes, I'm currently taking clients, and I would love to have you. And last but not least, thank you. Thank you for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. Please apply the things that I have went over with you. It works. It is an absolute game changer. And until next time, I want you to be your own coach.